family, welcome back. Hey, welcome back, family. Hey, and if you're new to this channel, my name is Amber, and on this channel we review fragrances and body care, and we sip a little tea from here and there. Your sis may go left, but that's okay. Just subscribe, give me the thumbs up, comment down below. Would love to get to know you and meet you. And hey, family, hey, I hope you all are doing well. Hey, new family, I see y'all coming in. I hope you all are doing really well. Well, let's get right into it. Honey, I had to do this video because I've been really rocking and rolling with my collection this year. I really wanted to wear my collection, enjoy my collection, and not have a lot of purchases. You know, I will be purchasing, but just not as much because I really want to get to know my collection. And what made me do this video is that I got some compliments on some fragrances that I'm just like, man, I feel like we take them for granted. Sometimes we take some of these fragrances for granted. We're like, oh, wow. Because some of the compliments I got, I'm like, oh, you're complimenting me on this. Like one of them I just said, oh, I just have this on. So I feel like sometimes we don't give our old babies the praise that they certainly need and deserve because they still good. Even if they old, they still good. So I just wanted to bring, you know, my top 5 that I've experienced from my collection that they might be oldies, but they're still goodies. And I just wanted to show you all. So first, honey, the Miss Popular. I feel like she is always talked about sometimes, but I still think she needs to give a little bit more credit. Okay, that's just me. But we have Valentino Donna Born In Roma. Honey, you can't, like, I got a compliment on this and I was like, oh, I just have Valentino's Donna Born In Roma. Like, it just came so natural of like, oh, I just have this. But it's really good. Like, don't do her. I mean, she's still good. So this is your very woody, fruity, floral, like white floral. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. If you have like your nieces or even maybe people that are just getting, or your friends that are just getting into the fragrance world, honey, Valentina Donna Born In Roma to me is so good. It's such a great foundation to have in your collection. That's just me, again, my thoughts. But she is so pretty, and the longevity of this is going to give you about 6-7 hours, depending on how you spray, sometimes more. But definitely for me, it reaches that 6-7 mark. But even the dry down when it sits close to skin, she still does what it needs to do. Because after a while, I mean, I was like, oh, you still smell me? Oh, but this is all I have on. It is so good. She is such an oldie, but such a goodie, okay? So I think you should consider this black currant, pink pepper, floral type of scent, right? It gives you just a bit of everything, especially as we're going into the spring, summer. She is so pretty. You would not regret, just my opinion, but I absolutely adore her. Definitely, if you have her in your collection, pull her out, okay? Moving on. Next up, honey, I have to put this on my list. I feel like the girlies be like, we're talking about this again. Yes, we're talking about this again. Honey, MFK, maisonfranciskurkdjian, and this is Rouge, okay? This is Baccarat Rouge 540D Extrait version. I absolutely love this one. It gives me like this almond type of scent. It is definitely a warm of the Baccarat, like the original one. Oh, it definitely warms it up for me. It is so pretty, and the compliments I get, like this is one I do not have to think about, like, am I going to get compliments? You're definitely going to get compliments. This is definitely a great one. I absolutely adore and love this fragrance. I hope you all still like it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below, honey. I mean, after you done watched the Risa Tisa, I know you've been watching it. I know you was watching it. But after you done caught yourself up with that crazy mess, you know, trickle on down to refresh yourself with this. I absolutely love this. Honey, let me know your thoughts on that mess. A hot mess. But anyway, this is so good. I think sometimes we take this for granted that like, oh, it's MFK. I gotta have a 40 extra virgin. I mean, I got it. I think sometimes we just take it for granted, but it's really a great one. I think this will always be a classic, always be a winner in my collection. I absolutely adore this, absolutely love it. Hopefully you got this, pull it out in your collection. If you don't have it, you definitely want this a part of your collection, sis. All right, moving on. Next up, I have to talk about her. If you like a good green apple, coconut, neroli, kind of mandarin, so a little fruit in it. If you like those type of scent, honey, I think you would absolutely adore Dolceandgabbana, and this is the only one. I absolutely love this beauty right here. When I say, oh, Oldie but a goodie, I mean what you want. What do you want to smell like? Like, what do you want to smell like? Because this is so beautiful and fresh and vanilla-y and apple-y, and it's a green apple. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's an oldie, but definitely a goodie. I would absolutely advise, like, if you have this, even though this is a designer's fragrance, so what? This is still good. This is so good. I love this in my collection. I absolutely just love hugging it and just loving on it. And when I put this on, I was like, why do I not wear this more often? Like, this is great for date night, okay? Great for date night. Yeah. Okay, you get what I'm saying. Perfect. Moving on. Honey, I talked about her, but this is the season coming up that you're probably going to get sick of me talking about it. And maybe not everybody talking about it, but I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it on my channel. And that is Pure Musc, okay? From Narcisorodriguezforher. This is absolutely such a beautiful musk scent. It's musky. It's floral. It's woody. It has a powdery. It is beautiful, okay? Honey, this is like running through a bunch of florals, but it's not a bunch of florals, but just running through maybe a pasture of flowers or florals. Or are you in the garden? Maybe you're running just in the garden. I'm trying to make it sound all cute. You run in the garden. Honey, this is so good, okay? You like running through the garden. This is so pretty. I mean, this is an oldie, but definitely a goodie. I think that this is not off-putting where it's like too mature, where you're like, oh gosh, I just can't take it. It is so beautiful. I think you can wear this to church, picnic, brunch, like a whole bunch of things. That this is a goer. This compared with other fragrances, I absolutely love this. The longevity of it, chef's kiss. It's so good, ladies. I would highly recommend you get this, pull this out, okay? I know we don't talk about her and we might take her for granted because she's a must fragrance, but when I say she does the body good, okay? Milk, look a little milk, does the body good, okay? You know what I'm saying. Moving on. Next up, we have, honey, jimmychoo. I want Choo forever, okay? This is so good. If you love a good cherry note, a good sweet note, a good vanilla, this is your girl. Amber Nutty. It's so good. I mean, you have some vanilla, you have some tonka bean, you have some amber. This is so pretty, okay? I would highly recommend you get this. Oh, I think this might be my scent of the day. She is so pretty, but I think we just take her for granted. Like, I mean, there's some other jimmychoos, like Jimmychoo Fever. I think that's a good one that sometimes we take for granted. There are so many good jimmychoo fragrances that, sometimes I don't hear it often, but this one is a great one. So again, if you like a good cherry, nutty type of scent, a little bit more of a sweet note, you would absolutely adore this. This is so good. I fell in love with it in store. I had to have it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the cherry scent that I want in my life. So I had to have it a part of my collection. I would highly recommend this. The lasting power on this, it gives you about a 6-hour ride. And so I don't mind that because this is really good for a workplace. It's not off-putting. It's not too sweet where you're like, heady or kind of get a little bit of a heady. It's not that at all. And it does give you that rose note in it. So it just settles it. It just blends so well for me, to me. Okay. It just blends so well together. The notes, I absolutely love it and adore it. I would highly recommend you pull this out your collection because what? She's a good one. She's a keeper. Okay. She's a keeper. Moving on. Well, that's all, family, for my oldies but goodies thoughts on these fragrances, honey. What are some fragrances that, you have pulled out and people compliment you on and they're like, oh, what is that? And you're like, oh, I'm just wearing this. What are those fragrances? Like some oldie but goodies. I would love to know your thoughts. Please comment down below. Let's chat it up as we always do. Make sure that you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Would love to get to know you and meet you. And hey, family, hey, make sure that you're good to yourself. Give yourself some grace. And if no one has told you that you are more than enough, yeah, let them know. Your sis just did. Bye, family. I love you so much. Bye.